decentralization was capacity. There was a time, in fact, when people were supposed to be redeployed from the relevant institutions to go to councils for decentralization. So when you talk about introduction of IFMIS, introduction of IFMIS does not mean everything is perfect. There are institutions who are not using IFMIS. They are using systems that are helping them to ensure accountability and transparency. What I do know is IFMIS had been a challenge. This is what I'm saying. If you want to enforce them to do it, no problems. But what I thought we should encourage them to do is to do transparent accounting system that they are competent to do.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, the proposal is to, yes, Honorable Deputy Speaker first, before I make.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, you know, councils employs or taps employees from Gambian people. The efficient people we have in the ministries from Gambians. The efficient people we have in the ministries, parastatal or private sector, we still have the same Gambians. Once positions are created or they know very well that they need expertise and expert to do that, they will apply. What we need to do is to say probably by July 2024 or by December 2024, they must implement IFMIS, because the objective would be to enhance financial discipline and prudent usage of service delivery and also usage of public finance that comes through the councils. So irrespective of whatever you believe, but we should be able to give them a timeline, and I support his proposal.
That's fine, honorable members. All what I know is, even in this institution, we had challenges, even to recruit people for IFMIS. So if that is so, I think can you reread it? Can you reread your proposal?
Member who want to contribute before I come in. Member who don't want to contribute. Member who don't want to contribute.
He said what?
Honorable Speaker, that the Minister of Finance should ensure that all councils in this country use the IFMIS system for their financial transaction, with effect from, you know, it's already there, but now they should be using it with immediate effect. With immediate effect.
Honorable member for Woolly East, he knows weak place. Weak place. Does he know the Kuntaur Area Council?
No, Honorable Speaker.
The place. You should know the place yourself.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Members, the proposal is that the finance ministry should ensure that councils use IFMIS system with immediate effect.
No, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, please. Honorable Speaker, you see, the reason why the member came up with this suggestion, he must have realized that there are some lapses. And
no, honorable member, we have passed that. We now want to include it.
No. 1 second.
What we want to do is,
Mr. Speaker, what I want him is immediate effect might not be very convenient or effective. Why not the member to say July, effective July 2024 or January 2024, so that they will have time to employ efficient people?
But according to you people, you said they have efficient people and it's already there.
No.
That's what you have said.
No, what we
it's already there and there is capacity.
No, what we said.
Why wait until July 2024?
No, what we said, Honorable Speaker, I said your views that it's complicated and it needs qualified people. And I said we have qualified people everywhere in the country, but you need to employ them. And employing, there are processes and procedures in this public institution. Sometimes you have deadlines. So if we say immediate effect, what is the rationale of us saying this must be done? Because the rationale is effectiveness. We cannot say immediate effect.
Qualified IFMIS personnel, it's most difficult to employ them. You cannot even get them from the ministry itself because of the package they have. So if you are talking about councils to appoint those type of people, it's out of the way. Now, you want it there. If it is not applicable, they will come back to you.
Yes, Honorable.
You know, I don't just want...
Honorable,
Honorable, what I don't want is members to make a resolution that is not applicable. I don't want that. So we need more research on these things. We just don't make things only to come and find out, after all what we have done, this is not applicable because of A, B, and C. But nonetheless, we can just capture it as it is, that the finance ministry ensures that councils is it introduced? They said it's already there. How are you going to introduce?
It's already there.
It's already there.
Honorable Speaker,
Is it finance that introduces these things to them?
Yes, it's Accountant General.
Honorable Speaker, 1 second. Honorable Speaker,
Yes.
you know, the member or some members are claiming that it's been introduced already, but because of capacity or lack of interest from council to make sure it happened. Now, to cater for either inefficiency or lack of capacity, to cater for everybody on board, we must come up to say, effective July 2024, all councils must use all their financial dealings through its system by January 2024 or July 2024.
That's what we are saying. Others are saying that finance should introduce.
Now that is why
That's what I heard from Woody and these people.
we will not use the term introduce. What we are going to say is what we should say is by July 2024 or by January 2024, all council financial dealing must be on IFMIS.
No. So you now leave out finance.
No,
Because he's talking about the Ministry of Finance should ensure. That's what his statement was.
now,
Are you putting all that away?
no, Honorable Speaker, okay, we can say by end July 2024 or by January 1st, 2024, the Ministry of Finance must ensure that effective January 2024 or July 2024, all councils' financial
You
transactions.
stick to one.
No,
You want to say January or July? No, you make a proposal.
no, I am not the mover of the motion. It's up to him. All right, now, order, please. We are in September. We have 3 months stock. Now, let's say July, effective July 2024. Yes. Yes, because, Honorable Speaker, the member for Woolly is.
Honorable. Now, I think we have concluded this now. We have agreed that it should be used and that we are going to agree it will be latest July 2024. Huh? So, minority, minority, you've captured it, that the finance ministry should ensure that all councils should use IFMIS system latest 31st July 2024. Huh?
Bundung.
January is short. Now, let's not debate that now. Now, we have 38. If miss, I can't. Latest. For next proposal.
Number 4. Number 4.
Go ahead.
Secretary General of the President. And then the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Works. To provide recent explanation to the FPAC as to why the approval for a single source procurement for the rehabilitation works at State House was sought after the completion of the work on or before 28 September 2023. So if they fail to do this, what's next? I think there should be, after the failure, when they fail to do so, the secretary and the permanent secretary should be called by FPAC for explanation. And so that should be added there.
They should provide a written explanation.
Yes, FPAC.
When the written explanation is not forthcoming,
exactly,
FPAC will bring another recommendation to you.
After 28, they should come back to you.
They will pursue.
No, it should be here.
Honorable member for Oluyundum. Pardon?
It's fine, I'm good.
It's fine. Honorable nominated member Kewa Lang. Nyamina Dankunku.
I'm around. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just have a general observation on the stipulated time frame.
Sorry.
On the stipulated time frame, that is 28 September. No, it's almost all the recommendation. 28 September. If you looked up from today to 28 September is 9 days. If you remove Saturdays and Sundays. Yes, you see, my argument is my point of observation. Actually, we don't want to give them a time frame where they can come back again. Because let us look at it. Why not we give them at least 1 month grace period? 1 month. That from the date today, 18 October. Anyway, that's my observation on this time frame.
Yes, Honorable Man.
Yeah, I think if you look at the COVID-19 report, we are using the same time frame. It was supposed to be on Thursday. If you look at the first draft, we say from the 14th to 25th. Because we could not lay this one on the 14th, we had to make that adjustment. But the same time frame that has been given to COVID is the same one that we are giving to them, where we need them to report back. The same time frame.
Because of Honorable Speaker. Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, because of also the exigency of time, and as alluded to by the member for Nyamina Dankuku and the chairman, once resolutions of this nature are passed, I know it's the norms, but they should expedite it to urgently send copies to relevant institutions, including the Chief Executive Office of the country.
Honorable member for Woolly East. No. We are now moving. Oh, you still want to do? I thought we have concluded that. I think we have agreed that we leave it as that because you have passed. It's just the same thing as the one you passed. Yes. Honorable member for Dankunku, Nyamina. Nyamina Dankunku, are you okay?
The reason of the whole house is to maintain it. But actually, if you give a time that is impossible again, it's going to derail our work.
No, what they are saying is they are giving the same time to the previous resolution you passed for COVID-19. Are you comfortable, Honorable Member Nyamina?
Whatever the house decides, but I am not comfortable with 9 days.
Honorable members, what is your opinion? We leave it as it is, or we
My opinion is we give it a time frame of 1 month.
Yes.
From the day the resolution is passed.
So I'll second that.
No, we leave it as it is. Honorable members, I don't like people shouting.
Okay.
Everybody will be given a chance. The minority is saying that the time frame is short to enable these people to report back. We give them a month. The mover of the motion said they have given all of them the same time frame. The previous resolutions you passed for COVID-19 was on the 25th, I don't know, according to him. This one was the same, but it is adjusted because of the extra 2-3 days it also had to take it to the 28th. So they want both resolutions to have the same time frame, not giving this one 1 month and the other one 8 days or 10 days. That's his point. Now you've had both sides. What is your opinion? We leave it as it is, or we move it? Who thinks otherwise? Yeah, who thinks otherwise? Okay. Then we continue. Honorable member for Wuli.
Yes, thank you. Mine is on 24. That the judiciary prepares the account and submit for audit to the Auditor General for the period ending 31st December 2023. I don't see any time frame there. I don't see any repercussion for not doing so. Is that it's rectified?
(16) to year ended 31st/12/2022 and submit them for audit to the Auditor General for the period ending 31st December 2023.
Sorry, Honorable Speaker, can you read that?
No, that one doesn't matter.
Honorable Speaker,
Yes.
can you go over it again?
What do you have? There was an amendment on that 24, and what I captured was that the judiciary prepared their accounts and submit them. Somebody said, there were observations until you finally agreed that their accounts from the year ended 31st December 2016 to 31st December 2022. That's what you agreed and you captured. You even gave it out. And then submit them for audit to the Auditor General, not for the period ending, before 31st December 2023. That one should not be for the period ending. You cannot bring accounts for the December 2023. Is that the timeline to the Auditor General before 31st December 2023. not Auditor General for the period, to Auditor General before 31st December 2023. Member for Woolly East, is that what you mean? Yeah, we have already done the correction on it. It was all captured. Yeah, thank you very much. Honorable Minority, have you captured it now? Huh? All right, Minority, what about this other one? There is this, look at 18. The Director General of where? Have you seen it? What is it?
GCCPC must ensure that the money is involved in
GCCPC.
Gambia Consumer Protection
Gambia?
Commission.
I think this is not a common abbreviation. I think why don't you write it down and put in full GCCPC in bracket.
In full.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll write it in full.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You know.
Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection Commission.
No, that was my only
concern. Okay.
Yeah. Because
so we write it in full.
So, honorable members, I have finished the list. So, do I put the question now, or do you still have some observations to make? Honorable members, be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the resolutions of FPAC Committee on the Auditor General's report as amended Honorable Woolley,
if you know what he's talking about, he was talking about fraud. So if it is about fraud,
Honorable, you refer us specifically to areas.
you know, where you just, the last one that you've just been dealing with, that was the fraud one, that they must recover the fuel.
Which number? Honorable, these are the listed number.
18. The 18 you are talking about, the 18.
18.
Yeah, the number 18.
Yes.
You know, it's talking about fuel coupons defrauded. Okay. That the director of GCCPC must ensure that the monies involved in fraud case concerning fuel coupons defrauded by their staff be fully recovered on or before the 28th September 2023, failure of which the Inspector General of Police must launch an investigation possible. If the fraud case is established, it's already established, then we are giving chance for them to pay the money. So which means after paying the money, you leave the staff to continue with the practice that they are doing. That's how I see it. So I think the Inspector General of Police should immediately, since it is already established, should immediately launch an investigation into this matter. Don't give them another chance to bring money and then they stay there.
But I think the best thing is not to lose everything. Paying the money does not prevent an investigation. Paying the money does not prevent that the crime has been committed. You can be punished for that. But the most important thing is to get the money back.
Not,
you know. And honorable members, be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the resolution of the National Assembly of the FPAC Committee, on the audited reports on the accounts of the Gambia government, area councils, and parastatals as amended. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. I think we all have done our corrections. Minority leader and the mover of the motion has captured all the corrections. Minority, am I right? So we are ready with it. Sure. I thought that this will take us 30 minutes to 1 hour. Which minister? Are the ministers here? Clerk. Clerk. Clerk, can we proceed?
Oral ministerial reply. Orders 47, 48, and 50. Minister's reply to the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development nationwide visit to intervention sites, September 2022, by the Honorable Minister for Agriculture.
Honorable members, after the adoption of the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development nationwide visit to intervention sites, that is from September 2022, during the previous session, the report was submitted to government, in particular the Minister for Agriculture, for consideration and reply as per Order 100 of the Standing Orders of the National Assembly. Accordingly, the Honorable Minister for Agriculture is scheduled today to reply to the report. May I now invite the Honorable Minister for Agriculture to take the podium and make his statement. Honorable Minister. Yes, can we hear the point of order?
Thank you. Honorable Chair, point of order. Oral 48, oral ministerial statement 2. The Vice President or Minister shall make a written copy of the statement available to members as early as possible and in any event at least 30 minutes before delivering the statement. I don't see the statement in front of me. No, this is under order 47 and 48, and this is 48. It is stated 48, so then it should be amended on the agenda.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Banjul South. Honorable Member, if you look at it, this is the Minister's reply as per reports of committees who went round. It's not necessarily Standing Order 48 or 47, it's Standing Order 100 that we are invoking for the Honorable Minister to respond to issues raised by the various committees before us here. It does not warrant a submission of statements by the Minister as if it were the oral statements made by the Minister to questions posed by honorable members. This one we are invoking section 100. Honorable members, you can make reference to 100.
Then why was section 47 and 48 referred?
8 and 49, they did it purposely because they thought the minister was speaking orally to you people. But the relevant section, if you look at the other paper is minister's reply to the report, which only comes under section 100 of the standing orders. So can the Honorable Minister please continue?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First, please allow me to thank the chairperson of the Select Committee on Agriculture and all the 9 members in the committee, plus the 3 support staff, for undertaking a very laborious 6-day tour of agricultural sites nationwide. Yes, it's your mandate, and we really thank you for the exercise. It goes a long way in complementing the executive, specifically the Ministry of Agriculture, project implementation and supervisory functions. I hope this becomes a routine in your calendar, and I've urged my permanent secretary and team to accord you the fullest support and cooperation in this exercise. The report highlighted several challenges nationwide, and also it came up with some recommendations. And I'm not sure if I'm going to go through the report and identify the challenges with our response, or the format is somebody's going to be asking questions. But nonetheless, on the introductory part, it said, and I would start from there, sites visited fell under the purview of the Roots Project, the Giraffe, P2RS, Rice Value Chain Transformation, and the Regional Rice Value Chain Development Project under the Ministry of Agriculture. Several recommendations in this report emanated from observations made by the committee during its visits. Then I would focus on the challenges that were identified by the committees, and I think that started, the pages were not numbered, but it said, it started at the findings, and it said, the committee began engagement with stakeholders in the agricultural sector on the status of projects and programs, with a stop at Nyomi Kanuma in the North Bank region. Members took note of the presentation of women on the aspect of horticultural garden, and that the adult literacy program too. The garden project, it said, the women informed the committee of the garden project is a continuation of the NEMA project. As a result, the Roots project is taking it from the NEMA project, where the NEMA project stopped. The NEMA project constructed the fence, storage facility, and water reservoirs. Their challenges are the size of the garden is 4 hectares. Also, they complained about market access and also literacy program. The issues identified regarding being 4 hectares, the reason is because the Roots project took over from NEMA and they exactly implemented the designs of the NEMA project. Because design and supervision would have taken a long time, so for the interest of exigency, they implemented the 4 hectare plan based on that. Also, the ministry has recognized the challenge of the size of the garden and will be working with the projects that are specialized in garden as demand driven and will be working with the community. The market access have been solved because the Roots have brokered an agreement with Kerkunta Farm in the North Bank region to be buying directly from Kanuma and Yalal gardens so that the women don't have to struggle how to sell their produce anymore. And Kerkunta Garden has just been aided with $120,000 US, which is $7.5 million by the Giraffe project as part of our goal to support private sector actors. The other issue that was identified was their overhead tank, that is the water issue. That was in Yalal, Tankonjala. The overhead tank and related irrigation infrastructure issues have been solved, and Yalal Tankonjala is in production at the moment. Then they also identified issues in Yalal relating to a damage to the fence due to a fallen tree. And also they said the storage facility had some leakage. I'm pleased to inform you that the fence have been restored since January and the leaking roof in Yalal has been resolved since January. The committee also had a courtesy call at the regional office in Kerewan. And in Kerewan, they talked about the Roots project operating in parallel to the government infrastructure. This is true and it is a challenge. However, we've made it very clear that projects from now on will be implemented through our structures. Roots project has parallel structure because it was part of the financing agreement. During my last visit to Rome, we had a meeting with IFAD and we've agreed to a midterm review. And this midterm will be in January 2024, where we will attempt to mainstream most of the root activities. The committee also had a spot check at the Chairman Center. And the management of the center took the honorable members on a tour, and members took note of the poultry initiative and turkey breeding, moringa plantation, and various vegetable plantation around the site. The management of the center highlighted some of their challenges with operational financing. They point out that it is cost intensive to provide chicken feed because all the raw materials are bought from Senegal. Currently, I'm happy to inform the honorable members that the center is totally under the Ministry of the Youth and Sports. I have had a joint visit with the Minister of Sports myself, and we are collaborating on how to support their activities. But the center is wholly and solely under the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Also, the committee visited Kaur Cold Storage, which is under the Roots project. The committee noted that the construction was slow. The main project staff were not on the ground to give details of the project and reasons for the slow progress. I am happy to inform you that the cold storage facility in Kaur and all the other 3 are completed. Roots and the Ministry of Agriculture staff are currently in the process of handing this to the communities. One of them, the one in Basse, had a leaking roof, which has since been resolved. So all the 3 cold storage facilities, the one in Kaur, Basse, and Jarasoma, are completed. The committee also went to Balangar and identified an animal drinking point. Of course, there were no challenges, but it was mentioned in the report. And I'm happy to inform you that, well, as it is, that animal drinking facility was established by P2RS project and is managed by the local committee. Every cattle owner pays $10 per cattle, and they use those funds locally to manage their drinking point. And it has been that way for a while with no issues. They also visited Sotuma Sambakoi, which is a rice producing area in the URR. And specifically, the challenges in Sotuma Sambakoi were the beneficiary informed the committee that there are too many weeds on the farm and that they had to do 3 rounds of weeding. Water supply was also mentioned. The committee was informed that the land was in well level. It was also reported that the imbalance has caused incomplete land development program, has resulted from irrigation challenges. As a result, the GAF, that is the Gambia Armed Force Rice Project, relies on 2 pumping machines from the other parts of the farm. And they also spoke of instances of pest infestation and then birds being major issues and hindrance to their production. I'm happy to inform the committee and the House that pests and related issues be reported to the regional office in Basse. However, the ministry has a specialized department that is pest control, and if need be, it should be escalated to Yundum for expert involvement. But to be specific about that site in Sotuma, the regional rice value transformation has supplied them with birds and monkeys carrying guns. So that should have taken care of their problem. And they were also supplied with Sahel 134, which is a certified rice seed, high-yielding rice seeds. I have also visited the site, and during the vacation of His Excellency the President, he visited that same site and has even donated them with a tractor. So we'll assume that their issues have been resolved as of now. The committee also went to Sutukoba in Wuli East and Kulari in URR. Their issues are similar. They talked about their drying floors, which were not completed. These drying floors in Sutukoba and Kulari, also the same issue in Nyankui and Kurau. The drying floors are completed, but the accompanying stores are not finished yet, up to now. Under the regional rice value chain, the contractor that was contracted to do these stores and dry floors is A&A company. Several site visits have been done after your visit by the staff of the ministry, specifically contract committee members. Based on the poor contract performance, the contract of A&A has been terminated. In consultation with the donors, 2 performing contractors under the ministry have been identified to be subcontracted to finish the job. Then they also went to Sotokoi Mandinga, but I assume this was a spelling error. It should be Sololo Mandinga. Sololo. In Sololo, the challenges they identified were they highlighted the issue of monkeys as a threat to their crops, also talked about the overhead water tank for their borehole. They also reported that the Gambia Electrical, who is assigned for the installation of the overhead water tank, told them that the pump and the borehole were not ready yet or are not the recommended type. But it also observed that the place where the overhead water tank is earmarked is quite distant from the borehole. On other issues, apart from the monkeys, mainly around the monkeys and water issues in Sololo Mandinga. I'm pleased to inform you that in Sololo, there is a fully functional 6-hectare garden established by Roots. They received seed and fertilizer support. Training was conducted for over 200 women in good vegetable production practices, and also is an established farmer field school. Gas guns were delivered to them to help them handle the monkey and pest issue. The single toilet that was also a challenge has been identified by Roots, and they are evaluating this issue with the community. And the water tank issue has since been resolved. They don't have any water issue. But again, in Sololo, there was already a garden that was established by LADP project. The problem in that garden has been water reticulation, and they only produce during the rainy season. I'm happy to inform you that Sololo's second garden is part of the 11 gardens earmarked by Roots for rehabilitation. Then they also visited Sankulekunda. The committee had a brief stop at Sankulekunda at the request of the village committee to bring to the attention of National Assembly members the status of the work of the village rice fields. The challenges there are numerous, but I thank the committee for visiting Sankulekunda. It is a site that has serious potential and a site that has serious challenges at the same time. The contractor at Sankulekunda is Pavifort, and it's sad to inform you that it is definitely non-performing, and that area was actually transferred to CPCU and not Roots as mentioned in the report. The community has gone through a lot, and we sincerely apologize for the production delay in Sankulekunda. However, in 2023 dry season production, the Ministry of Agriculture offered them free plowing services, which was done. We've supplied them with free high-yielding seeds, and we also supplied them with over 160 bags of fertilizer for free, all geared towards enhancing dry season production. Given all the less than optimal contractor issue in Sankulekunda, the ministry has decided to do a force account and has commenced to engage the engineering part of Maru Farms to complete the remaining of the civil work, because Pavifort is unable to do so. In Janyambure, Nyantangle, and Farabale, the community of Janyambure is able to cultivate 3 hectares out of the 9 on the rice fields known as Nyantangle. The beneficiaries are concerned that the rice planted on the field were rain-fed and probably would die off if the rain stopped in about a month. Remember, this report was September 2022. Officials of Roots, and it should probably have said officials of the CPCU, has assigned the Nyambure community to engage NAWEC on the electricity supply issue, and that the Roots project would settle the costs involved in the process. The Roots project also assured them of a new generator would be installed for pumping facility in about 2 months. The same issue with Farabale. I'm happy to update you on the activity of the ministry and the projects regarding what happened in Nyantangle and Farabale since your visit in September 22. Currently, as we speak, both Nyantangle and Farabale are in production. During the dry season of 2023, Farabale received 38 bags of high-yielding seeds, 223 bags of fertilizer, and $32,000 worth of fuel to help them in their dry season production. And Nyantangle received about 60 bags of high-yielding seeds, 240 bags of fertilizer, and $36,000 worth of fuel to help them in their dry season production. During this current rainy season, both Farabale and Nyantangle were also given free plowing services by the Roots project. Seeds and fertilizer support were given to them. The pumping machines, as we speak, are functional, and both fields, Nyantangle and Faraba, are under intense production. The committee also visited the the Lower River region, and the agriculture director highlighted a few challenges while they were in the LRR. The director explained that there is high cost of power supply, which is not paid for by the ministry and cost him personally, sometimes up to $15,000. He also highlighted the lack of mobility for his office and how difficult it is for the staff of the directorate to live up to their expectation without mobility challenges, without mobility issues being solved. I am happy to inform the National Assembly and the committee specifically that the Department of Agriculture in 2023 procured $1,060,000 worth of cash power and distributed it to all the regional offices. However, I have also discussed this with the Permanent Secretary and the Director General, just in case any regional office buys cash power out of their own pocket, which is highly unlikely, but also is a possibility, they should use the receipt and follow the procedure of refund. As far as mobility is concerned, the regional director has been given a brand new pickup by the Roots project, and already there was a Nemachoso pickup in the LRR. But also, the Department of Agriculture has received 24 motorcycles for LRR. LRR currently has 26 extension workers. So out of the 26, all the 24 have been supplied with motorbikes after your visit. The other areas of challenge that were identified were, let's say, it says, as the aspect of giraffe projects, and this is all in LRR, the region administered about 32 applications. 8 sites were selected, and but they think the list that was supplied to the project was disregarded and the project put in their own list. We are happy to inform you that LRR actually currently benefits 8 out of the 40 gardens that are to be erected by the giraffe project. So LRR alone has about 20% of all the gardens that are planned by the ministry. So the region has been well taken care of. Also, in LRR, the garden in Manduar, Nema, and Medina are part of the 14 to be rehabilitated by the Roots project. They also visited Jarasoma, where they went and had a view of the cold storage facility. But like I said earlier, the cold storage facility in Jarasoma is complete, and the Roots project with the Ministry of Agriculture are in the process of handing it to the community. Then they also visited Kiang Manduar, and the women gardeners in Manduar had a few issues, and some of them were the high cost of seeds for production, lack of access because of bad roads, and lack of access to market. I'm happy to inform the committee and the House that the road leading to Manduar, being constructed by the government of His Excellency President Barrow, is almost completed. And also, Manduar is one of the gardens listed by Roots for rehabilitation, and the garden has received seed support from the Roots project. Manduar is an area that is regularly visited by our extension service, and we have a personnel on the ground. And I think the same with their visit to Kiang Keneba. The challenges in Keneba that were identified was the management of Walik highlighted the lack of sufficient funding for their plans and programs. Compared to the capacity of the center, the ongoing business is small scale. The housing facility for the animals are dilapidated, and in some cases, it is not fit for purpose. In Walik, which is the West Africa Livestock Innovation Center, headquarters in Bijilo, this was intended as a sub-regional institution. And since the changing of ITC to Walik, a lot of the countries in the sub-region has had their own livestock centers. leaving this one we have in the Gambia largely underfunded with very little capacity. Knowing the capacity gap, we are assessing the wallet issue holistically, and we'll have to have a solution because currently the design was to be an institution representing most West African countries. Now that it is only left with the Gambia, budget and capacity is an issue. We've already just moved a retired veterinarian who retired from Gilma for supporting them to build capacity. However, the wallet issue must be looked at holistically, and we are assessing that. They also went to Foni Tampoto. There was a road being built by the Giraffe project. We are happy to tell you that the road is still under construction, it's not finished. The issues identified there will only be solved once the road is done, because it's lack of culvert and drainage issues, and those ones will only be finished after the road is completed. They also visited Marakisa, that is, I think, in Brikama South. The challenges in Marakisa is they face with a lot of difficulties in getting vehicles to transport their vegetables to the market. They also complained about animals and pests destroying their crops, and they also complain about thieves. Marakisa, just like Mandwar, is among the 14 gardens to be rehabilitated by Roots. The size is based on the existing design from the previous project, NEMA, like I said earlier. For the problem of thieves, we encourage them to liaise with their local community police and the Ministry of Interior. However, Marakisa is one of those places that are seriously challenged by monkeys. And this, we've advised them that a location almost always determines how much monkeys will infest. The more isolated the garden, the more likely monkeys will go. And we have also encouraged them to cultivate crops that are less likely to attract monkeys, such as onions and okra. But also, they will be supplied with the gas gun to scare pests away. As far as marketing and transport issues, there is a youth marching grant under the Roots project for which we encourage them to apply, and the youth marching grant involves transportation. For marketing also, the project and the ministry has an MIS, that is the Market Information System operated by Roots, and we also have the Agricultural Value Chain Interaction Platform. And what this platform does is members on this platform are both the producers, the transporters, and the marketers. And jointly on this platform, the issue of marketing gets addressed. This ended the report, and then they have several recommendations. Most of their recommendations centered around having CPCU play its traditional role of oversight, and also the Ministry of Agriculture and CPCU Contract Committee must ensure strict compliance and terminate those that are not delivering. Also, in the interest of continuity, the project should be managed by personnel in the institution instead of having to leave the ministry. Another recommendation they said was to ensure synergy in complementing the project efforts. All incomplete projects with contractors that do not meet their timeline should be completed before December 2023. These recommendations we are already started implementing. Like I said earlier, apart from the Roots project, we have made a policy decision that there will be no project under the ministry that will be a standalone, that will operate independently. All project activities will be implemented through our line and technical departments. Contractors that are not performing, we have already terminated some. We are in the process of evaluating the orders and recontracting it to companies that have the capacity, the material, and the manpower to do what needs to be done. So we are cognizant of their recommendation, and we have started implementing them. Most of them are already in place, and we thank the committee very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister of Agriculture. Honorable members, following consultations with both sides of the Assembly, it looks like people want to re-energize themselves to be able to effectively participate, to the extent that the proposal is we suspend sittings at this juncture, go for prayers and lunch, and then come back immediately to continue the business of the day. Pardon?
Speaker. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister has been here since morning. I think we can finish with him so we can release him.
Honorable Minority.
Honorable Speaker, it's after 4 o'clock. We've been sitting down since 4 o'clock. I think we need to break and have our lunch.
Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, in fact, this is not debatable. What I'm saying is, I have made consultations with both sides, the leaders of both sides of Parliament, and it is agreed that we suspend the House. It is already 16:03. How many minutes would you need to be back again? It's 3 minutes after 4. Half past 4 or 4:45? To be reasonable with honorable members, we will say 4:45. I know 4:45 will finally be in after 5, because 4:05 also will be just time for prayers. Yes?
I'm suggesting that we make it at 4:30. Most of the members have already sneaked. They already eaten already. So it's better we resume at 4:30.
Half past?
4:30. Some have already eaten, so we can come at 4:30.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say, in fact, is 4:30 is just about time for prayers. Oh, you don't mind, honorable members? 4:45. I know we will not be in by 4:45. We'll start by 5. But now, honorable member, we will now suspend the sessions until 16:45. 16:45 hours. The House now stands suspended until 16:45 hours.